Hello and welcome to Matt's Mosh Pit, and tonight I'm going to be checking out Ghost by Lord of the Lost and Tina Guo. But before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown me and my channel so far. It truly means a lot, and I could not do this without you. So folks, this is the third single off of the Opus Noir Volume 1 album that's supposed to come out soon, but in my opinion, not soon enough because... You know, I love Lord of the Lost. You guys know this at this point. You guys could probably officially call me a Lostie at this point. I have done so much from, them on the channel. I've seen them live. I have tickets to see them live in January, and I just can't wait. So I love the fact that this new album is basically a trilogy, and which means they've got a ton more music out there that's just going to be just hitting us, which is just super cool. They absolutely seem like the hardest working band in show business. It just seems like they're always putting out music. And even, Chris's solo stuff that came out in January, I believe it was, just fantastic. So they're just churning out music left and right. And I love every bit of it. I've said this so many times that the one thing that I truly love about Lord of the Lost is you really never know what you're going to get. Their style, like they could play anything and get away with it. Like if they did a reggae song or a country song or a jazz song or a whatever, it just wouldn't shock me. And most likely it'd be pretty awesome. So, they're one of those bands that literally can play any type of music and it would still sound cool and it would keep their fan base, which is really interesting. Like when you think about it, there's a lot of people that have side projects because whatever music they're interested in or at that point, just doesn't fit their main band. And granted, I just mentioned that, Chris had a side project for the 80s, but I feel like Lord of the Lost could have done that and it wouldn't have, steered their fans away or anything like that. I believe the only reason why it was a side project was because it was more synth based. And I think some of the other members would have been like, hey, I don't get to play anything on this whole album. I think that was really the only reason. But there's so many bands that want to do different things but can't because it wouldn't play right for their main band. I just feel like with Lord of the Lost, they could just play anything and get away with it. So, I think that's great when bands can pull that off. And there's very few that really can, but Lord of the Lost definitely can. And, what can I say about Chris's vocals? That's another guy who his vocal style is just perfect for my ears. Like I feel like he could, as they say, sing the phone book and it would just still sound super cool. So, so safe to say, you can call me a Lostie at this point. And I am very, very excited to check this song out. I don't really know much about Tina Guo or Gua. I think it's Guo. But I don't really know much about her. I do know she plays a cello, and it's strictly because of the thumbnail on the video. At least I'm assuming that's her because there's two people with cellos. I'm going to assume she's one of the celloists. So anyway, that's pretty much all I know. And now let's just get right to the video. So this is Ghost by Lord of the Lost and Tina Guo.
We fight against ourselves and cast our souls aside. The secret every mind forever tries to hide. The sleeping creature in our mind that can confide.
I'm not. I don't know why, but I guess going into it, I thought it was actually going to be a slower song because of the cello and all of that. But then, like, awesome! Chris's screams are fantastic and completely unexpected. Like, once again, I figured for some reason I thought with the cello it was just going to be kind of a mellow song. So, not exactly the case, and I love it.
That your hope has died. When touched by gentle ardor, will your stream subside? Why do we mock ourselves with how far down we fall? If not to show our pride on how we still stand tall.
Okay, folks. So that was Ghost by Lord of the Lost featuring Tina Guo. Although it says X Tina Guo, so I guess instead of featuring, it's kind of and instead of featuring because it's like giving credit where credit's due. So forgive me, Tina, if I said featuring instead of X or and. But either way, you guys know what I mean. You guys just watch the video. I loved it. It just the overall sheer vibe to it is great, and it just gets me more and more excited for the new album to come out, or the new 3 albums to come out. They're not coming out at the exact same time, from what I understand, but at least there's like that much music that's just going to be hitting us from Lord of the Lost. I didn't realize Chris played cello either, so I think that's super cool, and it gets me more excited to see them live in January, because I'm assuming they're going to play this, or hoping they're going to play this, and I don't think Tina is going to be involved with them on that specific tour. There's like 3 openers or something like that. So I'm kind of curious to see, will, Chris be playing cello, or will it be more of like a backup tape type of thing, which in those kind of situations, I completely understand why somebody would use a backup, because you can't really afford to bring, one person out or extra people out. Like if you used a chorus or whatever, you can't afford to do that. So I completely understand it if there is a backing track there, just for the cello, but I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. But I just, once again, cannot wait for the new music to come out. And I believe it's in August sometime when it comes out, and it's just, once again, not soon enough. I feel like I need it now. So I should say, if you're out there and you have access to it and you want to send it my way, that would be super cool, folks. Um, anyway, I have a feeling I'll be waiting like everybody else. But anyway, with that being said, folks, let me know your thoughts on this song. Let me know your thoughts on the new stuff that they've been putting out. You know, is it just as good for you as it is for me? All that kind of good stuff. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button and you're a big fan of Lord of the Lost, just know I am as well. So there's a great chance that if Lord of the Lost puts out stuff, it's going to be featured on this channel. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That would be super cool as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.